Talking about respect, AJ. Max Holloway versus Yair Rodriguez. This photo right here, that's respect right there, bro. That's saying, listen, man, we beat each other's asses. It was fun. You lost, I won. It happened. It is what it is. But he even said, Holloway even said it himself. He was all like, yo, this dude's a dog, da 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 da. Viva Mexico, shout out all the good stuff, showing love to the Mexican people, to Yair's people. I think Holloway truly respects him as an opponent, man. I think he says, like, yo, this dude is truly game. He really tried to put it on me, and I had to overcome some adversity. What do you think of this photo? And just listen, man, it was a war, but at the end of the day, I think we all kind of knew who was going to win come round 3, round 4, So what do you think?
I love this photo, Derek. I think this is what's missing in today's day and age, of the fact that sometimes you just got to throw hands with somebody,
Yeah.
and more often than not, you befriend them after. You guys earn a little bit of respect. There's been many a times where you get in a scrap. Next thing you know, you're chilling back, drinking a couple brews with that guy. It is what it is. You earn each other's respect, and this is exactly why I like Max Blessed Holloway going forward. And I mean, Yair Rodriguez is an absolute dog. You cannot not respect somebody that you just went 25 minutes with in an absolute war going forward. And like I said before, Max Holloway was hurt a little bit, man. He had me worried for my pick going forward on this one. Yeah, I love this picture. Love the fight. Crazy fight, man. I had it. I had the first round to Yair, and then Holloway kind of running away with it after that, but still not running away by much. But Yair was very much on his tail, very much in the game. Had a couple start off the rounds very, very good, and then kind of petered off towards the end. But I mean, Blessed is an absolute machine, so it's hard to keep that cardio pace going when this dude's constantly staying in your face. But the power for Yair was there. Crazy kicks. I mean, we saw the photo of his foot. That's what happens when you're kicking that dude's shin, that knee, that many times. Great fight. Yeah, loved it. This was like I said before, an instant classic, man. Yeah, that damn foot, man. Woo! Yeah, he's gonna be limping for a couple weeks probably on that one, man. What do you think?
Absolutely. I will say this, man. How about the jiu-jitsu of Max Holloway, man? Where did that come from, man? This dude was out here trying to grapple. He was trying to get standing guillotines. My man was trying to hit on some front chokes. I love to see it. I love to see the grappling of Max Holloway. It's a new element that he hasn't been able to show off too much in his game. But I will say, all in all, he needed to be an MMA fighter. He couldn't just be a boxer in here. And that's why I think if people were expecting the Max Holloway we saw against Calvin Kattar, that was just such a tailor-made matchup that just allowed him to just box. I mean, Kattar just boxed. He got away from the calf kicks, come round 2, boxing all from there. Yair Rodriguez, he was hitting the body, he was hitting the calf, he was throwing kicks to the head, front kicks, a million different kicks from a million different angles. And AJ, man, we asked about it. It was a really big question mark for us. We said, how will Holloway deal with the calf kicks of Yair Rodriguez? I guess we found out. He just walks through them, which is a ridiculous game plan. And I honestly, this made me a little worried if he fights Alexander Volkanovski again. This really did. This fight didn't make me feel like, oh, yeah, man, if he fights him again, he's just going to beat the brakes off of him. He's going to do this. Because I'm like, Volkanovski, he's coming for those calves. And we saw Holloway have to switch to southpaw a lot in order to stay effective. Because he just decides, like, I'm just not going to check. I don't know what's happening here. Do you think he can ever regain his featherweight championship with this fight style of not checking kicks?
It's hard, man, because Yair really made Holloway look almost not a normal fighter, but a contender, somebody who's like, oh, okay, maybe he did lose those fights to Volkanovski. He's working his way back up, taking the stairs, which we love. But Yair really proved that with his skill level and the techniques he has and the kicks he's throwing, you got to be worried about them. You got to be checking them, because if not, man, it's going to be a long night. And I agree with you. Didn't really give me the confidence to say that Holloway going forward is this new animal. He's reinvented the wheel. He's getting back. He's going to be a champ again. It made me think, like, damn, this is going to be an interesting fight to see how Volkanovski does, because those calf kicks are real deal, man. I don't know why. I legitimately don't know why anyone doesn't check them. Maybe it's they just. I don't know. I honestly don't. I honestly have zero idea, because those things hurt, man. Those you get kicked in the calf, it hurts like crazy. I do want to comment on the jiu-jitsu, on the ground game of Max Holloway, man. He looked like he was. I know they always have a little bit of back and forth with him and the Daddest Man alive, DC. Yeah. It looked like he went and got a little bit of help from DC, bro. Yeah, that wrestling was pretty on point. He was looking really, really good. Even the defenses, the submission attempts, all around. Really good performance for Max Holloway, but do you think he can get that same kind of wrestling done against Volkanovski? Because, yeah, the calf kicks are one thing, but the wrestling that Volkanovski presents is a whole another different animal. What do you think?
It'll be tough. I mean, Volkanovski is a really, really good wrestler. And I thought I saw more jiu-jitsu than I saw wrestling from Max Holloway. Because if you look at it, it was a lot of escaping the heel hooks, you know what I mean? Maintaining top control, getting side control, just trying to stay on that front choke. Like all the basic positions you're going to get into in a normal jiu-jitsu, you know what I mean, match or whatever. But in terms of wrestling, man, I don't know. I think Volkanovski's too much in that department. And especially when he knows to double down on the wrestling because, oh, this dude's a striker. I don't got to worry about Brian Ortega jumping on a guillotine on me or a triangle, you know what I'm saying? Because unless Holloway can pull those types of things out of his belt, he didn't really come close against Yair with those guillotines. Like that I'll tell you, that standing guillotine, that one looked locked in, man. Those I'll tell you, these, honestly, the people who are the most dangerous in jiu-jitsu have the skinny-ass arms, blades, who are just digging in your throat, man. They can just slip it in there, you know what I'm saying? And so he might be able to, like, surprise him, but I think Volkanovski's wrestling will be too much. The smart thing to do is be where he is arguably the best, which is on the feet, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about arguably the best in the division, right? Where he's just, as a stand-up fighter, there's not many people who can contend with Max Holloway because the best is blessed. He is 19-6 in the UFC, 2-fight win streak, which seems crazy. But then you think those two last losses he had were to Volkanovski. UD win, minus 625 on the open. He cashed in on that one. Big favorite, but for a reason. I'll just say this fight did more for Yair Rodriguez than it did for Max Holloway, in my opinion. I think he will maintain his number 3 ranking. If not, maybe jump down to 4 or 5 or something with this loss. But you lose to number 1 in the division, so you shouldn't really jump down at all, personally. AJ, man, fight of the night. I mean, do you think Yair Rodriguez, after he rehabs the foot, gets right, which sucks, right? Because you don't have to deal with another little layoff after you just had a 25-month layoff. But do you think this man is going to be sticking around in that top 3 to top 5 for years to come?
Yeah, I think so, man. It did a lot more. This fight did a lot more for Yair Rodriguez than it did Max Holloway, in my opinion. Earned a lot of respect in my book, man. You go toe-to-toe with Max Holloway and you end up hurting him a little bit with the power that Yair possesses. Yeah, I think he stays in that top 2, top 5 position going forward.
Absolutely.
It's going to be interesting to see who they pair him next with because that's going to be an absolute scrap, man. I have Yair a favorite depending on who we're matching him up with, but the techniques he has is very scary, and the mindset he has as well, it goes perfect hand in hand with how he fights, man. I love it.
Okay, well, right on, man. Let's expect bright things in the future for both of these fighters. Clearly, both of them, I think, are only 29 years old, man. So that's what's even scarier. They haven't even hit the prime of their careers yet. But big win for Max Holloway, man. And you already know who's next. It's going to be the champ. So let's talk about it, AJ.